Beautiful day, Patriots. How are you? I'm working on a matching hammock. I finished the other one. This one is exactly like it, and I'm working on it. There'll be two matching hammocks. Oh, little piggy. And I was just got done listening to Mike from around the world on Pastor Paul Begley's show. And what it's kind of funny how just out of nowhere he talked about and said, no, the North Pole is not about the pyramid. And I thought, okay, well, that was kind of a funny coincidence because, like I say, it was just out of nowhere. Not to say that's not what he was talking about, but let's go ahead and I wanted to talk about a couple things. Let's see if I can. It's fresh on my mind right now. He was saying that with the Earth and the other planets, they are similar and they're not like what we're told and how we know them. So, with the North Pole and the South Pole and the Earth, the equator, and Antarctica is a continent, we believe, right down there, right? And the North Pole is an ocean with an ice cap, which might be hollow, and also hollow down here, also. We have Admiral Byrd in the U.S. Navy. He flew his plane inside the South Pole and went inside the Earth in a phenomenon. It is information that is out there. It's hard to find, but it is a historical document with the Smithsonian, with our records. So I mean, it is attainable. Admiral Byrd. You'll see a lot of things on YouTube right now about him that talk about the South Pole, but they are there to keep you away from his actual documentation of him flying his plane. But back to what Mike is talking about with the North Pole and how they mimic the other planets in our solar system. And if we look at Mars, which was a big thing that he was talking about, how Egypt, Little Egypt, Young Egypt is on America, on Earth, and Old Egypt, possibly, is on Mars. But if we go and look at Mars on its North Pole, it has a hexagon shaped energy force. I don't know, the best way to maybe describe it would be like an ice crystal type of and again, it's so hard to find information. If you weren't learning this stuff 20 years ago, 30 years ago, and then got the advantage of the early internet, it's kind of hard to find that kind of stuff now. They do hide it very hard and deep. I mean, because I try to look for it every once in a while myself. Like, I really like ley lines that are laid out all over the world. But man, as fast as I can find great information, man, I go back the next day and I can't find the channel, the video. Yeah. So, back to Mike from around the world. The pyramids, the planets. We're all going through the second binary system. Let's see, what else was he talking about? There was oh, so he was talking about how the Vatican, the Catholic Church that loves to control the world, has a telescope in Arizona. I'm not sure if it's anywhere near the fires, but they have a telescope in Arizona. I forget where. They, for whatever reason, I do not know or get it personally, but the Vatican named its telescope, they named it Lucifer, the light bearer. Kind of an odd name for the telescope by the Vatican, but it is what it is. And they have a lot of money and education looking at the stars. Yes. And so Mike was talking about how if you look at this, that there's certain things in the universe that if you look through a telescope at it, it's possible that you could lose your mind and never be able to return to reality just by looking at something that's out there. I don't have to repeat, be careful of saying, I want to know the truth. I want to know all the truth. I want to know the truth. Be very careful of saying things like that. They're very naive quotes. You're blessed to not know everything. I'm blessed and thank God daily that I'm unaware of so much because of the little things that I've seen and do know. If you've seen just one little demon creature, do you think there's only one in the world? Why do I need to see 100 more? Why do I need to see 1,000 more? I'm blessed and thank God that I've seen what I've seen, but I do not need to see more. Amen. Now, so the Vatican is looking up at the universe, possibly at something that will make men lose their mind, that they have to be trained in their spirituality and in their belief in God so much before they are allowed to look at it for fear of this. Yes. Now, the reason I bring this up and say this so much, and I've said this on Twitter before, maybe even on YouTube, but I've had these visions and dreams and reoccurring scenarios throughout my entire life from a little tiny kid showing me what I will see when I'm an adult. No need to get into all of them, but one of them is that I kept having these dreams and reality things. Once you're a little kid and have these things, you can't remember if they're dreams or real or what. It gets a little confusing, but it will never leave my mind and thoughts and existence. But that when you look at the sun, that it's like looking at a microscope. Now, the Vatican's looking at a telescope, but I'm saying that if you look at the vision and the thought was that, and what I kept always dreaming was that if you looked at the sun, it's actually the lens of a microscope, and that there's an eye on the other side looking down the tube, looking down through a microscope at the earth, and I could see, and obviously you could see us, me, and that you could see only the eyeball inside. Yeah, I hope that kind of gave a visual description of what I had always seen, like I say, from a little kid. And, as an adult, if you would see that, what if you looked up at the sun and saw an eyeball blink or something peek out behind it or something? It would make man lose their mind. Now, if I saw that, personally see that, I would have already expected. I mean, I might have a little bit of knee knocking, or maybe even a lot of knee knocking. But I would be able to pray and find Jesus, to know that this is part of God's plan and that it's all been pre-written, predestined, pre-prophesized. Again, I'm blessed to have listened to Mike for over 10 years, to him talk about these events that are happening around the world right now, and his explanation of the Bible to bring it into an incredible reality. God bless Mike from around the world, Pastor Paul Begley, and all of the family within the body of Jesus Christ. Amen. God bless you.